Hey, I'll say y'all. Peace and Palo Santo 6. It's your girl, Divinely Lika. And today we're going to do a quick little energy check-in to see what it is that our spirit guides, the universe, wants us to hear the most at this time. What messages that we need to hear the most at this time. Divine spirit guides, angels, ancestors, cosmic family, of the brightest love, light, healing, prosperity, and protection. Please give me clear and accurate messages for the collective. What is it that they need to hear the most at this time? Okay, please close your door. Please just block out any interferences so I get these messages across and protect my space. Kaden, can you close your door? No, can you close your door? Your TV's kind of loud. He's half woke. Divine spirit guides, angels, ancestors, cosmic family of the brightest love, light, healing, prosperity, and protection. Please give me clear and accurate messages for the collective. What is it that they need to hear the most at this time? Y'all, we got a supermoon and shit. Is it in Leo? It's just, I know it's August, but I don't even think it's in Leo. I don't know what sign it's in, or if it's even in a sign. I just know we have a supermoon tomorrow. That's really just bringing a lot of energy of closing out karmic cycles, welcoming in new energy of, beginning new chapters. It's just a really, really powerful energy that's going on right now. Not to mention that we're in a Mercury retrograde, so lots going on, planetary wise, energy wise. So no time better than ever than to get a reading just to see what it is that our spirit guides need us to hear the most right now as we're shifting in this energy. Okay. All right, please just block out any interferences. I get these messages across and open up my third eye so I can dive deeper into my intuition and get further clarification of the cards that come out today. Any dark magic, evil has been sent my way or to the way of the collective and their loved ones. I ask that you just return it back to sender, magnified, and bind it to them. Thank you so much, Spirit. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. What is it that the collective needs to hear the most at this time? Move in a new direction. I'm telling y'all, this energy is so heavy of traveler. So it's traveler moving in a new direction on the, like, if you look at the details of the card, it's like a compass. So it's just a lot of people moving house, moving into a new chapter, closing out certain chapters, closing out certain relationships, ending friendships, walking away from jobs that no longer serve them. It's a lot of shifts happening right now for your highest good. And it's just beautiful. Anything else, Spirit? Tell me more, Spirit. What is it that the collective needs to hear the most at this time, Spirit? Ooh. Hold the space. Druid. I want one more card. I need one more, Spirit. That's in alignment with this reading. One more card that's in alignment with this reading, Spirit. Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. A lot of times our fears are around our desires. All right, let's see what's going on, y'all. Traveler. So we have hold the space. We have move in a new direction. Hold the space. Track down your fears and desires. Ooh, okay, let's see. When I feel like there's like I get cards where the energy seems a little contradictory, it seems to me, then it means that one of these cards are actually in the way of something else. And it's probably has something to do with fear. And I'm hearing like fear of the change, fear of moving in this new direction. Like somebody, like you desired for something, right? Like there was a certain desire that you had and it's coming to fruition, but now that it's here, you have a certain level of fear that's around that, that's surrounding that. And sometimes it's like when we there's something that we desire that comes into for that needs to happen, right? Say there's something big that you desire, right? Sometimes in order to get what it is that you desire, things have to drastically change around you. So this could have been walking away from a relationship. This could have been walking away from a job that wasn't serving you. This could have been relocating from somewhere that you've lived your whole life and you were really comfortable with being in, or So let's just see. Let's get the textbook definition so I can get a little bit deeper into what's going on here. 82. All right, it says, welcome any opportunities to travel, either to the outer world or to your inner worlds. The traveler card represents the gypsy spirit within. The opportunity to move in a new direction is coming your way, and ancestral wisdom is encouraging you to welcome it with open arms. Going on a trip is an exciting process because not only do you learn about the world, but you also learn about yourself. This card often comes up when you have a chance to go through a process of awakening and understanding even more about your amazing qualities, the amazing qualities that you have to share with the world. Often such journeys can be lonely, but this in itself can teach you that you are never really alone, and your angels and ancestors are there for you. The extended message. It says the road you are on may be the road less traveled, but this journey is going to be highly beneficial for your emotional and spiritual growth. If it isn't about covering outer distance, it's about covering distance within, and you will be evolving every single moment of it. Remember to keep things simple and to lighten your load, because that will make your journey more enjoyable. You're also being encouraged to see how far you've come and how you've really grown as a person, because this recognition will support you in going even further. And there's a good chance that along the way you'll make new friends who will become companions for a lifetime. This made me a little emotional. Um um there is somebody has had to who is undergoing a very drastic change, right? And everything looks amazing. Everything looks like you have no worries. There isn't any real worries or struggles in front of you. The only thing is the fear of the change and the unknown that's tied to what is happening right now. And for some of the collective, it is very lonely because there were certain people that had to go for this change. The universe has, I think somebody has experienced a tower moment. There was a tower moment that has transpired. I believe it is already passed. Even though my readings are timeless, so this can apply to past, present, or future. So just use your discernment and flip and switch the roles. They apply to your situation, because I could be talking about you or someone who's very close in your energy. But I do believe that um there's been a major shift and change that's had to happen, and maybe you may be at a point, because this lady is traveling, but she's all by herself, and you're moving in a new direction, and I feel like the direction is away from everything that you've always known to be your day-to-day life, or what you thought was your regular norm. You're walking away from that into something new, and that's where this fear is coming in. But what spirit is saying on the other side of this fear is everything that you could ever desire. And it's so, the way the universe works, it works in, oh my gosh, it works in mysterious ways, because sometimes when you want it so bad, you can get it. You just didn't know so many other things were going to have to be stripped away for you to get it. Rather they be patterns, whether it be people. For what I'm feeling really heavy is people. There's been a lot of change of scenery, environment, friends, relationships, for this shift and change. And everything looks amazing, but I think now it's just more so grasping that this change has transpired and the people that you thought were going to come with you actually are not. Or the things that you thought you were going to be able to hold on to while you got what it is that you desire is actually not the reality. And now you're like, what else is there to come? Spirit in the universe is just telling you to trust the process. Everything that is unfolding is for your greatest good. Is the most beneficial for your emotional and spiritual growth. You're going to discover some things that you never knew about yourself. And I'm almost hearing like you had to change your environment to really change your environment, or this shift, this traveling, this moving in a new direction is what needed to happen for you to really be able to look into the depths of you, the deepest depths of yourself. And I feel like along the way, you're going to meet some more like kindred spirits like yourself along the process. Okay, the next one we have is Druid. It says to hold the space. $30. It's like the first... Actually, one of the first sacred ones in the card is the Druid. So let's see. It says, hold things together. Don't make any sudden moves, changes. Stand strong, knowing you are where you're supposed to be. So I'm almost feeling like there's a change that's happened. And I think for like a level of comfort, or even just from a place of ego, somebody wants to make an impulsive decision to reach into the past, to bring some type of what was considered their old normal into what their 1212 on the timer. That's my confirmation. What they consider to be their old normal into what their new phase or new chapter of life is. And Spirit is saying not to do that. Hold the space that you're in. Do not make any sudden changes. Allow things to unfold. This is really you walking into the unknown. But understanding that what's on the other side of this unknown and these fears that you're experiencing based off of these beautiful changes that are happening is everything that you could ever desire. It says, hold things together. Don't make any sudden moves or changes. Stand strong, knowing that you are where you're supposed to be. The Druids were the ancient wise ones of the British Isles. I don't know. They had a deep connection with the earth, the sun, and the moon. They were the scholars who created the Ogham tree language, and they were known for their creative skills in storytelling, poetry, and craftsmanship. The extended message is, when the Druid card appears in a reading, you're being guided to dig deep within and hold your situation. If you're wondering what to do next, or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding in your life, it's time to shift your perception and move back to a state of trust. Don't change your plans or do anything drastic. Just trust in the process and let everything happen as it needs to before taking any more steps. Think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. Your life will be a reflection of this. There's like, this is everything about this energy of the reading of what I'm getting. And I got it. Like, honestly, y'all, I use cards for just context, but I feel energy before I even get into what the definitions of, like, as far as the energy that I need to channel, I kind of feel it before I even touch a card. And ultimately the energy that I am getting is, this is trusting in the unknown. This is all about everything about what's happening for you right now is the stage of what's going on right now. With this supermoon energy that's coming in, this is all about closing out chapters and walking into new beautiful beginnings. Endings bringing new beautiful beginnings. You've already passed the stage of the endings. the tower moments and the endings that you didn't expect to happen, and now the new beginnings are happening. And it's still it's so crazy how, like, now you can see, it's like now the new beginnings are happening for you and everything is actually beautiful, but the fear is all based on foreign things being foreign to you, this being different for you. You might even be at a place now where it's like you feel like your life is boring because it doesn't revolve, it doesn't have any drama or any issues in it. You could be, I'm feeling for some of you, some of the collective right now, you've entered a chapter where there isn't any problems. And any problems that you do have are problems that you've created based off of your anxiety or overthinking, but there actually aren't any problems in front of you. You're actually at a state of peace and you don't even realize it for what it is. Take the time to really sit and understand what is happening, the shift that is happening right now. It says if you're wondering what to do next or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding in your life, it's time to shift your perception and move back to a state of trust. Trust that your spirit guides in the universe is forging a plan that is much favorable for you. It may be something different than what you expected, but it's more favorable for you. This is all about fear of walking into the unknown. But there's so many, it's like one of those things where like certain doors have closed and now those beautiful doors are opening up for you, but you don't know what's to come. You just know that the people you thought would be with you when it was going to happen, or the things that you thought you'd still be able to hold on to when it happened, that's not the case. That's not the reality anymore. Yeah, I can. Whew, this one's hitting for me. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Okay, the next one is the Hunter. 44. All right. It says, track down your fears and desires. Track down all of your fearful thoughts and feelings. When you find them, you will find your desires too. The Hunter card is based on my favorite Celtic god, Cernunnos. Y'all, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Cernunnos, whatever. He is the stag god of the wild and represents both the hunted and the hunter. Similarly, the hunter helps you connect with an energy that is both fearful and fearless. Your fears are the only thing that are standing in between you and your desires at this time. I know it. So you have to come face to face with them. What is it that, collective, take the time right now to think, what is it that you're afraid of? At this very moment, as you're walking into this new chapter, what is it that you're afraid of? Think about that. Really take the time to think about, what is it that you're afraid of? Is it something that is actually something for you to fear? Or is this all about overthinking and anxiety of change? Of feeling like you don't have everything mapped out exactly how you thought it was going to be mapped out. This is like one of those, I feel like there's what is this called? The Law of Detachment. There's a book I have called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And there's a chapter in there that's called The Law of Detachment. And I think this is all about what that is. Detaching from the outcome. Knowing what it is that you want for yourself and then detaching from the outcome and allowing it to unfold. Trusting that everything is going to unfold exactly the way you want it to. Okay, so it says you have to come face to face with them, as the hunter does with wild animals, and go beyond them. The extended message, it says, instead of being hunted down by your fears or other feelings that you have buried, become the hunter. You're being given confidence and strength at this time, so use your power to make a difference. You are not here to cower away or live in the shadows. You're here to realize your fullest potential. but this can only occur when you step up and do what needs to be done. When this card arises, there could be an opportunity to face an aspect of your past or bring closure to a situation that has been haunting you. If you are a man or identify as a male, this card represents the masculinity and an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. If you are a female and or identify as female, this card represents your capacity to be strong and powerful and overcome limitations. So something that stood out to me was when this card arises, there can be an opportunity to face an aspect of your past or bring closure to a situation that has been haunting you. So I believe that you're stepping into a new chapter. And I believe that maybe physically you could have closed a chapter, you could have closed out something or walked away from something in the past. So physically you have closed this out. But energetically, you may not have fully released this. And I'm hearing forgiveness. Whether this be a person, whether this be a person external to you, or whether this be yourself. There's just this like really strong energy around somebody being fearful of this new chapter. But I don't believe that there are any problems that are actually there. I think they are problems that have been created based off of anxiety and fearful thoughts. But I feel like what's happening is something that you actually meant. You actually manifested this. This what's happening for you is actually what you wanted to happen. It's just not happening the way you thought it was going to happen. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to just give you a little bit of a little something to basically close out the reading, but we're going to like shift the energy. I'm going to use my Rebel deck, the Oracle with the Attitude. It's my shit talking deck, y'all. So just a couple little messages to close out the reading and send y'all on y'all way. But understand that what is happening for you is what is most favorable for you. For you physically, mentally, emotionally. That's what's happening right now. And it can be scary. It can absolutely be a scary thing. But please understand that there are beautiful things in store. Beautiful, beautiful things in store. And it's easier said than done, especially when it's a situation where you've had to walk away from certain things or close out certain chapters or let go of things that you thought that you were going to still be able to have while you got this new beginning. But ultimately, for everything that you lost, something better is going to take its place. And you may not see it yet, but it is coming. It's unfolding right before you. You just don't see it. Spirit is saying get happy like you see it already. And that's just how you manipulate energy to work in your favor. To bring things into fruition a little bit faster. Get excited for what's to come like it's already here today. Get excited for what's to come like it is already here today. Okay. Spirit, please just give the collective, allow me to give the collective some more messages to close out this reading. What is it that they need to hear the most at this time to close out this reading, Spirit? What is it that they need to hear the most at this time to close out this reading? Rebel deck, cards with the attitude, Oracle with the attitude. So it's real straight to the point, unsugar-coated advice. Not for my more sensitive people. It says, fucking apologize. Seriously, just do it. I feel like the apology is to yourself. It says you need a good fucking cry. Get the ugly cry on. Let that shit go. Your soul will thank you. And you know what? And you maybe do need to do that because, you know, with endings bring new beginnings. And like a lot of this is a spiritual, it's a spiritual transition. And what I'm feeling for some people is an ego death. As you're walking into something different, like you're stepping into a new chapter. It's the confirmation that everything that was tied to your ego prior to this no longer is there. So it can feel very unsafe. Your ego is kind of the part of us that we use to protect ourselves. Our fight or flight instinct is our ego. And I feel like parts of your ego has actually died off. And you could be grieving that. That can actually be something to grieve. So if you feel like you need to cry, Spirit is saying cry. And to you, maybe it feels like, you know, and I feel like for some of you, you're not crying because it's like, well, what do I have to cry about? Nothing is wrong. Nobody's hurting me. I'm not struggling. Things are actually unfolding the way I wanted to unfold. So you're sitting and you're asking yourself, why am I sad? You're sad because a part of yourself, like the old you is dying to make place for the new, more evolved version of yourself, the healed version of yourself, the happier version of yourself, the version of yourself that knows yourself on a deeper level, the version of yourself that's addressed those childhood wounds and childhood traumas, the version of yourself that has lived, loved, and learned from your experiences. Tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more, Spirit. Just want to take a couple. It's not everyone else's fault. It's yours. I said, like, it's not for the sensitives, and my ass is too sensitive to read some of them. It says, drop the fucking ego. Vulnerability is hot as fuck. This is what I'm saying, y'all. It's shedding off. It's the ego death. Like, there is a ego death that is tied to this, that's tied to this change. And the word that I just keep hearing screaming to me is surrender. Surrender to the process. Surrender to the change that is happening. Because there's something so much more beautiful on the other side of the door. And what I can see is that somebody, fast forward to you actually getting to that other side, you're going to look back like, what the fuck was I afraid of? I remember when I was scared of this change, and now I'm in the most happy, peaceful place in my life that I could ever imagine. I'm living the version of my life that I could only imagine, and now what I imagine is actually my reality. What the hell did I fear? That relationship I had to walk away from, that job that I had to walk away from. I remember when I was sitting there crying and like really couldn't believe that I had to leave this, walk away from this, and being fearful that I didn't have a level of stability because what I thought was going to be is actually not what it is. And then now I have this, and I can only be I'm so blessed that everything else came to an end the way it did. That's what's happening right now. It's not you. Your higher self ain't scared at all. Like, I feel like you have your ego self, you have your higher self. 1:11 a.m. right now. The number we can see. That's my new beginnings number. That number is so wrapped around new beginnings. And then I caught 29 on the timer. But anyway, shit. You have your higher self and your ego self. The only part of you that is scared is your ego. Your higher self ain't scared at all because your higher self knows that everything is falling into alignment. Everything is falling into alignment. It's your ego self that's afraid. It ain't you. It's not your core soul that feels this way. It is your ego. Your ego's like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch? Are you like disconnecting from me? What's happening? What the hell are you waiting for? Get that shit done. If you're waiting for a sign, well, here it fucking is. It says make better fucking choices. If you're pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. And this is all about just embracing what is happening. You're not taking yourself back to the past. Like sometimes it's so crazy how this could sound, and I'm somebody who was like this. How I would cling or try to run to something that I know was problematic, that I know brought me a lot of anxiety, but it was comfortable for me because that was my norm. I'm used to anxiety. I'm used to discomfort. I'm used to fighting for love. I'm used to these things, so much so that it becomes normal to you. And when you don't have it, you feel like there's a disconnect. That's why it's so important to heal your childhood trauma and things like that, because there are people who like, and I've heard these situations before, like that's why there's some good men who will say they don't want to be a woman's first good man, because some of them don't know how to receive a good man. If you've always been used to feeling like you had to question somebody's love, feeling like you had to work for somebody to love you back, feeling like you had to always compete with somebody else, and then you meet somebody that brings you peace and stability, it's like, wait a minute, what is this? And if you haven't actually fully healed the part of you that has made you so attached to and comfortable with being loved the wrong way, then you can easily sabotage a connection with a good person, or just not be willing to welcome it in because it does not feel it doesn't feel comfortable for you. It feels foreign. But sometimes, with the reality of the situation, is exactly what you've always needed. You understand? So, yeah. I'm almost hearing it's like, even though somebody has started this new chapter and they're scared and there may be all this fear and anxiety wrapped around this new chapter, when you take the time to really reflect on the past and what you had in the past, did it bring you happiness? When you take yourself back to the past, you're pissed at where you are. So Spirit is saying, stop taking yourself there. Allow this change to unfold. Allow this change to happen. And be happy for it. Because this is what you've always wanted, even if it scares you at the moment. All right, so collective, this is what I have for you. If this resonated in any way, shape, or form, please just like, comment, and subscribe. It is just a beautiful way to energetically donate back to my channel, and I highly, highly appreciate it. But until next time, I love y'all, I love y'all, I love y'all, and peace out.